So we're going to take our round Etna trip today to see if we can find the snow. We've come over to the station at Catania, and we've come over to this side of the station, the metro side. A line runs from here up through Catania to a station called not Burgos but Burgo, from where yes, there it looks fairly quiet, so we should be okay. From this station of Burgo starts the not the Etna line, but as a young man on the station taught me how to say, and I think I've got it right, Etna. Ferrovia Etna. So this is the metro, the underground, which will take us to Burgo. Now I'm going to get off at one of the intermediate stations to have a look at one of the underground stations. So off now to Burgo. The next little sequence that we see will, at least it does to my mind, show several points of difference between the way we live life and the way these people live life. Just see if you can pick out one or two of them. So we're at Burgo now, and we've walked down those steps down to the station, and here's our train on the Ferrovia Etna. Making our way out now through the suburbs of Catania, and let's just check. Yes, there it is, and looks fairly quiet. I could never imagine living near a volcano, but we're getting a bit close to it now. I think there might be a bit of steam coming out there, but anyway. No, it looks fairly quiet. I think we're okay. Quite a lot of new building around here. On the Norman front, even before 1071, Roger, the younger brother of Robert Guiscard, had attempted the conquest of Sicily, but with very limited success. But in 1071, Bari fell to the two brothers, and later in the year they persuaded the Muslims of Catania that they were their friends, and a great fleet entered Catania. Oh, steaming now. I hope it's alright. By January of the following year, 1072, Palermo had been taken and the conquest of Sicily was successfully initiated, if not yet complete. Oh, there seems to be quite a bit of steam now. I hope somebody's keeping an eye on it. Ah, we're getting into the snow line, you can see there. Got some vine there, but plenty of snow on them. Now, to change from the Normans for a moment to Nelson, you may remember that Nelson was the Duke of Bronte. Now, we're coming up to Bronte, in fact we're in the land of Bronte now. The title, and indeed the estate of Bronte, was given to Nelson by the King of Naples for services rendered. And in about 1970, I think it was, just checking there, a bit of steams. In the 1970s, the estate was given by the Nelson family to the local commune. Now, these kids obviously know what to do with snow. Got the sled ready. And this is the land of Bronte. Now there's some lava flow for you. Come right up to the railway line, if not over it at one stage, I would think. And they've obviously decided to build a whole new housing estate right in the middle of it. I hope they'll be okay. Plenty of snow. So I think we're going in the right direction here. There's a south-facing slope, which is obviously farmed. And we're just now coming into Randazzo, which is to the north of Mount Etna and where we're going to have a stop. Randazzo is the nearest town to Mount Etna. It is built almost entirely of lava blocks. Well, at least we seem to have found the snow here. This is about as near as I want to get to Mount Etna, actually. I understand it's probably one of the biggest volcanoes in Europe and certainly one of the most active, so this will be near enough, I think. Although the town, I understand, has never been affected by it in the way of lava flows and such like. I think that means this here, Casalenza. They're probably related to Mario. When the Allies landed in Sicily during the Second World War, the Americans under Patton swanned off up to Palermo to resurrect the mafia, which Mussolini had managed to get rid of. The 8th Army under Montgomery fought their way up the east coast, through all the hills and round Mount Etna. Now, Randazzo was one of the strong points that the Germans defended very well, and I understand that the town itself was practically totally flattened and has since been rebuilt. San Nicola. And I've just discovered that desert boots aren't necessarily watertight. Well, that's all clad and turn in 1509. Before, yes. Got it. San Martino. The three churches in Randazzo used to take it in turns in the old days to be the bishop's church. You can see all the black parts in all these buildings. It's because of the lava blocks, not soot like in Sheffield. I think someone's built a snowman, I'm not sure. But just behind us we've got Castello Spiro. Yes, that's how near we are. We're making our way back to this station now. Italian snowman. Yep. Here comes our train. This will take us down to the main coastal railway. The trouble is I'm not sure where to get off, either at Giari or Riposto. After the capture of Palermo in 1072, the delay in further expansion was explained by the fact that Roger was often called back to southern Italy to assist in peacekeeping operations there. But in 1085 another massive fleet was assembled and a blockade of Syracuse began. By October the Emir Ibn el-Werd was defeated and Syracuse, together with Taormina and Catania, were now firmly in the hands of the Normans. By 1091, Roger, the Great Count, was effectively master of Sicily and Malta, which he annexed in 1090. Right, well, as I thought, I should have got off the Duke of Etna at Giari, not Riposto, which I have done. But I was just met a nice Italian young man who has told me how to get back to Giari. And that's why I'm walking down these dodgy alleys right to the end, turn left up there for a kilometre. Now then, is that somebody's shopping there? It can't be. Refuse collection, that was this morning. Well, we're nearly halfway up the hill now, just beyond where we can see. Here it is. Station. So it's now just a short trip back down the coastal railway to Catania, whose station is heralded by this World War II pillbox. Now we're back in Catania early enough to see a few of the sights. Just outside the station is the Prosperina fountain, Prosperina or Persephone, and this illustrates how Prosperina was, shall we say, abducted by Pluto and taken to the underworld. Now just along the street from there is the Church of St. Agatha, which I never found to be open. But just across the road is the Duomo, which is also dedicated to St. Agatha, the patron saint of Catania. The church was established here by Roger, the Great Count, but not much of that remains, especially after various earthquakes. Catania suffered from an eruption of Etna in 1669 and a very bad earthquake in 1693. This earthquake also devastated the whole of southeastern Sicily. Just outside in the Piazza del Duomo we will see a fountain and then a statue with an elephant and an Egyptian obelisk on top. It's very difficult to spot that, so just watch out for it. The square was established after the earthquake, and the main road via Etna runs northwards from it to Mount Etna. There's the elephant with the obelisk on top. Now there's the square at the bottom, and I'm sat in my Cafe Python, and I shall be having my cannelloni followed by cassata. This main via Etna was built through the ruins and deliberately made wide so that in future earthquakes they would be able to rescue people down there. Now evening's coming on now, and we're looking back down towards the cafe right in the centre. The Duomo square is right down at the bottom there. If we look to our right we can see Socolorum Gymnasium, and to our left the university.